Good morning. Boy, it's raining, but we still keeping it in the road. If you can like it, you can share it. Seek first to understand, and as always, never take the light of truth and place it under a basket. Let it shine bright for all to see. Remember, I am running this year, 2020. Please don't forget to visit GraysonForGeorgia.com/donate. Help me win. You can also kick in here if you find the words that I am about to share with you informative. Now, I have not been wrong in terms of my political explanation about why things are happening, what's going to happen, etc., etc. And I'm going to break down for you why these people won't win. Those that they are talking about are that can beat Donald Trump. So first, they started out with another fake poll that everybody against Trump, head to head, is beating Trump. That's complete BS. Even Fox told the same lie, and not once did I hear them say, you know what? They did the same thing with Hillary, and boy, were they so wrong. They had Hillary winning hands down. Everybody had Hillary winning hands down, and it was a lie. Why? Because the media will put out stuff to discourage, to dissuade, and to make people think, hey, why even bother? All right? That's what they do. If you feel that you ain't got nothing, why do anything to try and stop it? So that is the goal of the media. And I told you, Fox is to be taken with a grain of salt, because one thing that they will do, they will never expose a rhino, which is one of the reasons why the Republican Party stays in the quagmire that it is in. Case in point, Doug Collins is going to run for the Senate seat. Everybody in Georgia, well, not everybody, but many people are pissed off about Loeffler, who was an establishment pick, who basically bought the seat. And that's what's being put forth on her. So people weren't pleased with that appointment. But Doug Collins votes against the Constitution 40% of the time. Has always been a rhino. But Fox will never expose that. Fox does not talk about politicians who vote against the Constitution. And like I always tell you, even though he may vote with the Constitution 60% of the time, it's the 40% that is killing us. It is the 40% that gives aid and comfort to the Democratic Party and the globalist agenda. That's just what that is. Call it what you like. Now, moving on, why these guys won't win. Some new information I found out about Bloomberg. Bloomberg called a woman. Now, this is in the workplace. He called a woman a horse-faced lesbian, and he called another one a fat broad. The man had to be in his early 60s when he did that. Understand something. When you get to be that age and you still think like that, to where you would talk like that even in the workplace, that is a character flaw. That is something that doesn't change. And the apology is only because he got caught. He's got a Negro that he's pushing in all of his ass, going around talking about how good Mike Bloomberg is. Trust me, that Negro got paid. All right? And that's why he is doing it, because Negroes have a tendency to forgive any damn thing if they think that the person that's coming with them and on their behalf hates as much as what they hate. And in this particular case, Donald Trump. And the sad part is 95% of them don't even know why they hate Donald Trump. And if they hate Donald Trump out of pure blindness, what does that say about their mentality? All of these people that are being pardoned, everybody is focusing on Blagojevich, but ain't nobody talking about all the black women that have been included in the receipt of the clemency that Donald Trump is putting forth. Nobody is talking about that. And I come to find out one of the black women that received clemency, that was pardoned, Obama denied 3 times. 3 times. But that's what the press does. So Mike Bloomberg blamed the Negro for the crime. He told the cops, Xerox the profile. This is where you will find the real crime in the Negro community. All right? Negroes and Latinos don't know how to act in public. That ain't something you just overcome on your own. All right? When I see a transformation like that, it is because that's an individual that has given their life to Christ. Otherwise, this is all about getting elected. Point blank. And I believe that these things will destroy Bloomberg in the eyes of white folks. Not the Negro, but in the eyes of white folks. And Bloomberg will not get the nomination. End of story. Let's move on to Bernie Sanders. One, the DNC didn't want Bernie Sanders the last time. Hillary didn't want Bernie Sanders the last time. Why don't they want Bernie Sanders? Because they know America does not want socialism. Now, Bloomberg called the young people stupid. Now, I would not use that word. He said the reason so many young people like Bernie Sanders is because they are stupid. Now, that's what Bloomberg said. I don't call them stupid. These young people, they are doing what they were taught. I always tell people, how are you going to get mad at a young man that don't know what it is to be a father when he didn't have a father teaching him how to be a father? He is doing what the government set out to do, destroy the black family by taking the black man out of the home. LBJ. All right? And this thing with these kids liking Bernie Sanders over socialism, Jimmy Carter. Trump just signed an executive order to make high schools back into what they used to pre-Department of Education, where you had trade schools. You can learn wood shop, metal shop, etc., etc. He wants to make high school valuable because everybody ain't going to college. But you know why they did that? And I'm giving you another history lesson. They did that because it was in preparation of the offshoring of jobs, all right, and the shutting down of manufacturing in this country, and the excuse that they wanted to be able to provide to the companies, well, we can't find enough skilled labor. That's right, they took it out of the high schools. They most certainly did. But see, people don't remember all of this. I remember the Buy America. I remember the Made America campaigns that were going around in the late 70s and the 80s when they were trying to save manufacturing and keep jobs, or the offshoring or sourcing of parts from overseas. See, I'll be 60 this year, and I remember these things. I write them down when I have to. So Bernie Sanders his supporters are doing what they were taught to do, to support the things that they have no clue about. They don't know any better. So if you raise these kids up into thinking that socialism is good, that being immoral is okay, why do you think I talk so much about the normalization and indoctrination of the alphabet soup's agenda to teach our children in school about sexual deviancy? Because if they don't have any parents at home, thank you, LBJ, and if education is not important to the parents, thank you, Jimmy Carter, what in the hell do you think they're going to grow up with? Seeing 2 million kissing an IHOP commercial will be normalized to them. They will be indoctrinated to it. Kids already are thinking ain't nothing wrong with having a boyfriend and a girlfriend. I just posted something about this new drug, an HIV drug. They have even gone and modified the ad and say, if you take Travolta or whatever the hell the drug name is, and HIV virus becomes undetected, you can't transmit it via sexual intercourse. So what are they saying? Translation: keep being you. Keep screwing anything that moves. Do you remember the movie not the Bus Boys, but 48 Hours, when Eddie Murphy made a joke about the Bus Boys? When the Bus Boys come to his house, the fish stop swimming because they screw everything that moves. That's what they're saying. Keep up with your behavior. And I already talked about how they tried to compare what happened to Kobe Bryant with Magic Johnson. Kobe Bryant did nothing wrong. Magic Johnson's behavior is what gave him HIV. And in this particular commercial, they are again saying, don't modify your behavior. Keep doing what you have been doing. This is how they destroy you. That's why God says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. So that explains the like for Bernie, but there are still people old enough who are voting, and they outnumber those young people that will not have Bernie Sanders. The DNC will not have Bernie Sanders. That's just it. And now they're putting out that the reason Hillary lost is because those Bernie voters didn't go out and vote for her. That ought to tell you something. Bernie Sanders, the socialist, will not win. Let's get on to Buttigieg. Now, I am proud of the fact that Buttigieg, or Buttigieg, whatever the hell his name is not pushing the alphabet soup's agenda. But the dude is a gun grabber. And let me tell you, look at what happened in Virginia. When they was first started complaining about that, I said, you got those people because you didn't do what you needed to do in the first place to keep those liberal Democrats from winning. So this is on you. But guess what? Those people stood up and they rallied and they defeated that bill. America will not have a man who has declared, I am going to take your guns. He is not going to win. Let's move on to Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren, this woman will not win. She is a socialist as well. She is talking about Medicare for all. People like the health care that they have. I went to the doctor, got a prescription, was told, well, I didn't get it. I was told that my insurance company wasn't going to pay for it anymore. You want to know why? They found a cheaper drug. Well, I started taking that medication and I started experiencing headaches. And finally, I said, enough of this crap. Because you see, people in I am familiar with a number of pharmacists in my own family. All right. And my nephew told me, oh, look, Uncle Derrick, when they go to these cheaper manufacturers, the fillers that they put in these drugs, man, it can do all kinds of stuff to you. You remember the recall of the drugs from China, right? Where they were mixing plastics in it and they had to recall it. I know for a fact the military gets a lot of their drugs from over in India and China, where they don't have the types of controls that we have here. And the drugs are graded by pharmaceutical companies. But when an insurance company decides that they want to give you something cheaper to save money, all right, then they will say that that's no longer covered under the formulary. So I picked up the phone. I called my insurance company. I told them, why did you not give me the medication that I was receiving? Oh, well, that's no longer on our formulary. So I said, let me tell you this, and I'm going to make it real clear because I'm documenting it. I said, I have been experiencing headaches for the last month and a half. Not going to do it anymore. If I have a stroke and I survive it, I am coming for you hard. Coming for you real hard because I'm telling you. And who the hell are you to tell my doctor what is the best medication for me? You are not my doctor. You're a drug company, or you work for the drug company. Mr. Grayson, would you like to file a complaint? You damn right I want to file a complaint. I had my medication within the next 12 hours, all right? I picked it up the next day. So I can do that because I'm smart enough to know how to pick up the phone and call and complain. But guess what? Medicare for all, that goes away. You will not be able to do that. This is why you need to fight against people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. And also, bankers don't want Elizabeth Warren. All right? Let's get that. Oh, another thing I got to throw in there. Somebody posted, and this is something I didn't hear because I didn't watch the debate, but they said that Bloomberg told Bernie Sanders, you know, basically, you got a lot of room to talk. You are a guy, the socialist, that owns 3 houses and is a millionaire, and you work in D.C. You know, it seems to have worked out pretty well for you, and you want to stand over there and criticize rich white guys. Oh, That was classic. I wish I had seen it myself. I'm still waiting to see if I can capture the sound bite of that. But anyway, bankers don't want Elizabeth Warren as well, because Elizabeth Warren has openly declared war upon Wall Street. Not going to happen. Who else did I leave out? Oh, Sleepy Joe. Let me tell you something. See, you got to know the history of these people. And Trump will bring it to bear if Sleepy Joe ends up on with the Democratic nomination. Sleepy Joe is a racist from the old school. And you know he's got to be calling Obama all manner of N-words, because Obama essentially gave Bloomberg the endorsement. Not in words, but by allowing him permission to tag his ads with sound bites from Obama. Joe Biden doesn't have that. Only thing Joe Biden can do is claim the flame. Can't claim the fame. And I believe that deep down inside, Obama despises Joe Biden, and that Joe Biden was forced upon Obama when they tapped him on the shoulder to go to Washington, D.C. So that's my take on that. Joe Biden will not win. The man stood with Robert Byrd, called him a hero, just like Hillary claims that Margaret Sanger is a hero. On my Facebook wall, just to enlighten some folk, I posted a letter from Margaret Sanger before Planned Parenthood was called Planned Parenthood, and in her own writing, now I won't say own hand, but it was a typewritten letter, the woman said, and the Negro Project. That was Planned Parenthood. But Negroes will still support people like Hillary Clinton, who lauds her as a hero. Christians will still support politicians who support abortion. It is truly amazing, and it is truly sad. But Joe Biden stood with Robert Byrd when they were trying to keep schools desegregated. Folk, I did not hear any professions of turning around due to faith in God. That turning around for most politicians is not because they have had a profound transformation in their character. It is because they got caught. It is because they want to win an election. True transformation comes when a person truly finds God and seeks and studies his word, so that they understand the nature of God as best they can in human form. And that is not what you have by and large with most politicians, and certainly not many Christians. And that is unsad, because for the life of me, and I've said it once, I've said it 100 times, I cannot understand how any Christian with understanding could support any politician that supports abortion, especially partial birth abortion and late-term abortion or due date abortions. So I think I have covered all of the politicians on the Democrat side and why they will not win. Why even the party doesn't want them, because they know they will not win against Donald Trump and the Americans that will be out in mass to go and vote for Donald Trump to ensure that we don't get a socialist. So they are seeking the moderate. And that is the reason why they stuck up Bloomberg and allowed him to break the rules and appear on their debate stage. That is the only reason. And the man is trying to, of course, buy the election, just like what they accused Donald Trump. But what they don't understand about Bloomberg is not running because of a civil war with him and politicians. Donald Trump declared in the very first debate, and I did a video on this, the civil war with Trump. One rich guy against a bunch of other rich guys. Trump basically said, I'm sick of paying you bastards off on the left and the right. But I did it for my family, for my businesses, and for my employees. And most of Trump's businesses are supported by the working class individual. And these politicians have been hell-bent, the 1% that is, with the politicians doing their bidding, have been hell-bent on destroying the middle class and making them dependent upon government. If you take away enough jobs, keep enough people unemployed long enough to where they become dependent upon the state, what happens? What happens? You lose the ability or the desire to go and do for yourself. Dependence destroys the work ethic. Dependence destroys independence. Dependence makes you like what the Bible talks about. A man that don't work ought to eat, but they are determined to make us dependent. And with Donald Trump bringing back more jobs to our shores, bringing back more jobs to America, manufacturing, this allows people to go out and be able to work and feel proud about what they're doing by their own hand. And that is not what the left wants. They want you dependent. And then I'm going to close with this. This politician, I don't recall his name. I first had to check to see if it was satire. Neonet.com, I think that's the site. And from what I can tell, somebody posted a link and said it was true. This fool said, and yes, I called him a fool. He said, so what? Black people, when they had full employment, it was under slavery. Big deal about Trump's economy. I'm paraphrasing, but that is essentially what he said. Black people have had full employment before under slavery. So big deal about Trump's economy, and essentially it ain't full employment. Idiot. Slavery was not employment, you. Slavery was not employment. It was slavery. It was by force. And there was no payment. Employment, one is exchanging, one is bartering, so to speak. One is trading my labor, my skill, my ideals in exchange for a paycheck. That's not what took place under slavery. But the Negro said it anyway, and he will be reelected. And congratulations on the woman that toppled the cabal of Baltimore, Elijah Cummings seat. His wife lost. Congratulations to you, ma'am. Don't recall your name, but congratulations to you. So I'm done, and thank you to the person who just donated. This is what I do. I bring the truth. This is what I do. I don't want you to be ignorant. I want you to understand what's happening, because you need to. Because knowledge is power. And when you possess the wisdom to wield that knowledge, you can conquer anything, especially if that knowledge is the truth of God. And the truth of God is all things that are good. Team out. Drive time till next time. May God bless you all. Peace. And don't forget, Grayson for Georgia, FORGA.com/donate. Help me help you, and help me help Trump help you in 2020. Team out. Drive time till next time. Peace.